center off of Eckerly, and he just missed the net. O'Reilly with the shot, far down, he scores!
Come from behind for a month, now with the lead, they're getting a little wobbly. Philadelphia, they won't get him! Wow! Edwards pulls up and buries the flag! Richardson tries, out for Robbie Ryan. Her three right on the money. Daniels takes his shot for Darby. Flag out.
What is up, all? Welcome into Taco Tuesday's edition of Pitchfork Lunch. Yes, I am Michael Carrottenuto at Diablo00 on X, artist formerly known as the Twitter. Yes, you guys know this. I say you guys definitely know that. But I see the show live there every day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. Yes, see the show there Monday through Friday every day, every day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. Also, you can go to my IG, michael.carrottenuto.5. Yes, I know you guys know that. You can set it on the good old Instagram. You can check it out there. Plus, don't forget, yes, I know I remind you every day, the YouTube channel. Any sound, anything that you've missed, you can watch live on YouTube. First, let's get there. Digress. You can watch live on YouTube again. And you see my name, Michael Carrottenuto, but go to YouTube. It's at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Champ 005 at MVC005 on YouTube, and subscribe, because anything that you have missed, any con reviews that you have missed, yes, for those new listeners and watchers to Pitchfork Lunch, con reviews, that's just our my creative, innovative Sun Devil way of saying con interviews / conversation / interviews, because people look at them as interviews, but I look at them as conversations, so we get to know players, coaches, voices, insiders, alum, everybody, Sun Devil Nation, absolutely just phenomenal. So you can see all the con reviews and those, and any sound you miss, any stuff from practice, post-game stuff like that. It is all there on the YouTube channel. So go to YouTube again, Michael Carrottenuto, but it's at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Champ 005 at MVC005 on YouTube, and subscribe. Also, for those of you that are watching, you can let your friends know that unfortunately can't get out for lunch right now, that they can listen to Pitchfork Lunch on the best internet radio station on the web, the Casual Sports Radio Network. All you have to do is go to www.ksrnaz.com. Page will open up. Click listen live, hit play, bam, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. There is Pitchfork Lunch, which again is absolutely awesome. So you can check it out there, and which again is a good thing, because if you have to, say you have to eat lunch at your desk, it happens. I get it. Again, you can pop it open. Again, go to www.ksrnaz.com. Page will open up. Click listen live, hit play. You can minimize the screen, but you can listen. Although if you're within, an earshot of somebody that roots for that team down south, which again, the game's coming up against them, but we got to get to that. Well, that's a little bit away. Make sure they can hear about how great everything is in Sun Devil Nation. And yes, they should be jealous because we're Sun Devils. That being said, you can listen at your desk. But if you're driving, again, if you're going to meet your friends for lunch, your friends are coming to meet you for lunch, you can stream it through your Bluetooth. So you just go to, again, www.ksrnaz.com. Click listen live, hit play. It'll go through your Bluetooth. You're driving, because of course I want you to watch, I want you to see everything, but do not watch and drive, because like I will politely remind you every day, you're smarter than that. So please look out on the road, pay attention to the road. You're Sun Devils, you're smart, you do it. But you're driving. And then when you get to meeting your friends for lunch, wherever you're going, you can still keep listening, A, or B, again, turn it on the avenues I gave you. But another thing too, when you are at the Casual Sports Radio Network website, guys, subscribe to their socials as well too, because Casual E, you want to talk about comprehensive coverage and having you covered with the Suns, the Mercury, the Cardinals, the Diamondbacks. Casual E has you covered. And he'll, again, I'm just stoked that Pitchfork Lunch could be a part of the KSRN family. It is awesome. But yeah, he will keep you up to date. The Suns. Oh, yes. What is going on? What's going to happen? I know everybody, speculation starts when teams aren't going, oh, KD's going to be gone. Booker's going to be gone. Deal you can't trade. So good luck with that, right? Yeah. Let's not just go off the deep end yet, but Casual E, I'm sure he'll show you what it's looked like if it steered that direction. But nonetheless, again, so stoked that Pitchfork Lunch could be a part of the Casual Sports Radio Network family. Again, www.ksrnaz.com. When page opens up Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. Hit listen live, hit play, bam, Pitchfork Lunch coming right at you guys. So, hey, it's been a very exciting weekend in Sun Devil country, and we talked a lot about it yesterday. Obviously, hockey with Western Michigan. Now they're getting ready for Omaha. We're going to hear from Coach Powers and Ty Murchison and Kyle Smolin. We'll hear from them today. We're going to hear from Coach Bloomquist. I promised you that yesterday. We're going to hear from Coach Bloomquist because they are in LA. Pitchfork Lunchers, Sun Devil fans, a huge Pac-12 rivalry, as it has been. It's the Pac-10, Pac-12 rivalry as it was throughout the years. UCLA, they take them on today and tomorrow in LA. USC will actually be here later on in the season. I know I told you guys about that, but they'll be here for one game, a midweek game later on in the season. And yeah, so it'll be interesting to see that. But this is a 2-gamer against UCLA, which is awesome. And I want to say first pitch is at, I don't know why I'm thinking 3. It's not 3 o'clock. Maybe I think it's 6. But I will tell you that very shortly. It is in LA. We know that. It's not here. I wish it was at Muni. But it is cool for, again, to keep these in there. And we'll hear from Willie, again, talking about this, wrapping up the series against Oral Roberts. But talking about 6 p.m. I was right. I was saying 3, but 6 p.m. tonight. and then 2 o'clock tomorrow on Wednesday. So just happened to be out, at Jackie Robinson Stadium. So it is 6 p.m. tonight on 1060 a.m. And then tomorrow at 2 p.m. it'll be on 1440 a.m. No, don't even see. Oh, looks like it might be on Big Ten Plus. Yeah, I'll have to look at that during the show. But yeah, we'll hear from Coach Bloomquist again. This Sun Devils team, absolutely awesome, 6-1 overall. Their only home loss to Oral Roberts. They lost a Friday night game, but responded back like I talked about yesterday. Took Saturday 12-5, and then Sunday just the home run fiesta that was. Yeah, so New Contradas had 2 home runs. Jacob Tobias had a home run. Kian Vu had a home run, and Josiah Cromwick, had a home run that game too. So yeah, it was a home run fiesta out at Muni, and the Devils are looking to take that to Jackie Robinson Stadium. So yes, we'll hear from Coach Bloomquist on that, because the Devils, again, is it 6-1 and as exciting as UCLA. By the way, UCLA right now, they are 6-1 as well. So far, just quickly, UCLA has beaten. They hosted Cal Poly for 3, and they beat them all 3. They won 3-2, then 18-2, then 16-0. So yeah, and then they took on BYU and beat them 15-4. They took on Texas A&M Corpus Christi, and lost 4-3 to them. Then took on Old Pac-12 foe Washington State, and this was all at the Clayburg Bank Classic, which was in Corpus Christi, Texas. But yeah, they lost 4-3 to Texas A&M Corpus Christi, then beat Washington State 7-6, then beat Michigan State 15-9. And so that's how they have gotten to 6-1. Again, like I said, that only lost to Texas A&M Corpus Christi 4-3. So they're 6-1 as well. 4-0 at home, 2-1 on neutral sites. Yeah. So it'll be a matchup of 2 6-1 teams. Yeah, it's on Big Ten Plus channel, TV wise. So for those of you that don't get that, again, you can listen to it on radio. But yes, it is on Big Ten Plus. So we'll have to see that as well. But for baseball, that's how you can see it as well. Sorry, I should say that. But yeah, so UCLA, like I said, 6-1 right now, and it'll be awesome to see it renewed. Or I shouldn't say renewed, keep going, because obviously they played last year, and so, but we'll see. Coach, we'll hear from Coach about getting other teams, and he talked about it when we had him on the show about keeping up with Stanford and the rivals they built there, and obviously UCLA and USC and Cal and. So I mean, yeah, there's a lot there, but nonetheless, it'll be awesome to see that today. Also, basketball wise, men's basketball wise, I must mention. Again, they got that big win, and we talked a little bit about it yesterday. They got that big win against K-State. on the road, which, hey, man, you'll take it. Considering they lost to them by 1 point here, which, again, that definitely should have been another win. But coulda, shoulda, woulda. Again, sour grapes, but they beat K-State 66-54 in Manhattan. And then tomorrow night, number 25, BYU, who, again, a win's a win, and I didn't get into it yesterday. And Pitchfork Lunchers, please do not, if you're driving, please do not spit your drink out or crash your car. But the officiating at the end of that BYU-Arizona game, absolute joke. And this is my proof to you, those of you that haven't heard me say, I do not talk out of both sides of my mouth. If I look at a call in a game, say it's against ASU, is how I always set it up. If it's against the Devils, no matter what sport it is, if I look at that and I'm like, are you absolutely kidding me? And would I be, and I say to myself, my barometer is, okay, alum aside, fandom aside, rivalry and disliking aside of that school, would I say the same thing if Arizona got, like, a crap call like that? Well, that last foul, alleged foul, and those of you listening, I do have air quotes, alleged foul, was an absolute joke. Now, yes, am I sad to see Arizona lose? No. But again, when the ref calls a foul and there's no foul there, it's absolutely pathetic. I mean, it wasn't even like, oh, there was kind of contact, and even when I've heard, and I've been guilty of it, I've said it on a few broadcasts when I've done it in different sports myself. Well, it's just a little bit of contact. Well, once you put the word contact in, again, there's going to be a little, like, I'm not saying like, oh, you put your hand on, just barely put your hand on somebody, get the foul. But it wasn't even that. Like, the player went up and momentum took him forward and he went down, and the defense was ridiculous. BYU had no business. I mean, again, BYU was in the game. They played a good game. So I'm not going to take that away from them. But yeah, if you're a fan of that team, a team down south, I was watching and I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. Absolutely pathetic and atrocious call of something that wasn't a foul. And it can't be reviewed. It can't be, oh, we can't, look, there's got to be something in the last 2 minutes like that. And, look, we've all seen it before too. On the other side, when somebody's going up and it's like, like time's winding down, shot goes up and rebound and all these bodies are banging around, and you're telling me there's no foul. Okay. But this one, honestly, I watched I'd say I got to see the last 10 minutes of that game. And again, they played well, but so that's who's going to be here. So yes. And we do know how the BYU fans do travel, my friends, because that part we know how BYU fans travel. So don't, get on out to DFA tomorrow night, 7:30. Don't forget, because it is just absolutely insane how they travel. We saw for volleyball. I mean, granted, ASU got the win, but for volleyball, we saw it for football. Yes, people say, well, stadium's obviously big, but big or not, like, BYU fans always show out. And so, yes, don't let them take over too much. Get your butts down here to Desert Financial, or get your butts down to Desert Financial Arena. And 7:30 tomorrow night. It's on ESPN Plus, 98.7 FM. And yeah, you will be very happy, very good to go there. But yeah, so it'll be on ESPN Plus, and yeah, the watch, listen, all that good stuff. But 7:30 p.m. tomorrow night. So again, you get baseball, 2 p.m. That'll be over. You get to enjoy that. And, as the Devils are in LA, like I said, take on the Bruins. And then you can go on out to Desert Financial Arena, Bam. Look at that. Absolutely awesome. So yes, that's what the men have coming up, and yeah, see if they can, string together some wins, win 2 in a row. Yes, BJ Freeman is not with the team. I know I touched on it yesterday, and I got a message or two saying, is there a statement or anything? I've not seen any statement, and Coach Hurley's we'll hear from Coach Hurley later today. But once again, when it's something like that, I've always said, okay, well, yes, I do. I want to know because of wanting to know, like, okay, what got so bad that caused this? But at the same time, like, it's between no matter what sport it is, between the athlete and the coach, the program, and both sides. That's how it should stay. So, the women's hoops team, though, who just beat BYU in overtime, whooped them 85-73, whooped them in the overtime as it got there. And again, the Devils didn't have like that, like a quarter that was, okay. So ASU outscored BYU, and the first quarter was solid for ASU. They outscored BYU, 19-12, but then BYU turned around in the second quarter, outscored them 22-12. So BYU went up by 3 at half, but then ASU outscored them by 4 in the third quarter, 22-18. You like that. But then BYU outscored them 19-18 in the fourth. Both defenses did lock in there. So, but then in overtime, ASU said, you know what? We'll let you hang around at home. And they whooped them in overtime, 14-2. So head coach Natasha Adair, her team, Jalen Brown and Ty Skinner both played. Oh, and Michaela Moore. I'm reading this right. Yeah, they played every minute of that game. Brown had 3 fouls. Skinner had 4. Michaela Moore didn't even have a foul in 4, and she, played the whole game. Nevaeh Parkinson did foul out. She had 15, but yeah, Jalen Brown had 23. Ty Skinner had 22. Parkinson, who fouled out, had 15, and Michaela Moore had 12. She was 4 for 8 from the field. She was 4 for 6 from 3, which is 67%. It's freaking huge. And then she had so Michaela Moore had 12 points, 7 boards, 1 assist. Kennedy Basham had 7 points, 9 boards, 1 assist, and 5 blocked shots for Kennedy Basham. Jalen Brown had a blocked shot as well, but 5 blocked shots for Basham. So yeah, just a team that the Devils, though, the one thing from the free throw, and they were on the road, but still 13-20, which is 65%, which, again, on the road, this level, but you got the win. You fight like they do. Absolutely awesome. So that is there. But we're going to step aside. When we get back, we're going to hear from Coach Powers first. We're going to hear from Coach Powers, and then we're going to hear from Ty Murchison and Kyle Smolin as, again, just caught up with them. So about, obviously, last weekend, coming into Omaha, they dropped in the pairwise. I'm absolutely freaking, Coach Powers explained it. I'm not even going to get mad because he was asked about it, and we'll hear from Coach Powers. But we'll also hear from, like I said, Ty Murchison and Kyle Smolin, and we shall hear from Coach Bloomquist as well too. So we're going to step aside, but more Pitchfork Lunch coming right up.
Got a big painting project you've been putting off because you don't think you can afford it? Well, it's time to call the team at Customer First Solutions. Customer First is your one-stop shop for all home repairs, from full interior and exterior painting to handyman services, drywall repair, electrical, and plumbing. Customer First has the most competitive prices in the Valley. Your flat rate quote is based on the square footage of your home, and that includes wall repair. All Customer First technicians are licensed, bonded, and fully background checked for your assurance. Call or text Customer First Solutions at 480-877-0255 for your free quote. Customer First Solutions, where our customers and their homes are our first priority.
This is the sound of a racing heart. It's beating a little faster because it belongs to a young child. But this child isn't in the middle of a close soccer game or playing with her puppy in the yard. Her heart is racing because she's just been told she has to move foster homes again. Change a child's story. There's a child waiting for a volunteer like you. Learn how you can help at casaforchildren.org.
KSRN has an inside track on all things sports, with topics and opinions from former players and local personalities. Catch 15-year NFL veteran Ed Smith and Jay Adams on Easy Sports Talk every Saturday.
Unfortunately, with this back and these knees, I don't quite have that ability, or at least I use.
For all things Arizona Cardinals, tune in Monday nights with Casual E and Sean Conn.
Bird Gang, I know it's another tough loss, but keep encouraged. We miss you, BA.
And now you can exclusively listen to former Arizona Cardinal Jeremy Bridges on his show, JB and Benny Blue Review.
Exactly.
Don't be dumb.
Sending the message out to the world.
Always relaying that message. Don't be dumb.
Yes, your guy, Benny Blue, comedian extraordinaire.
Exclusively on KSRN, Casual Sports Radio Network.
You are listening to the best internet radio station on the web, KSRN, Arizona.
Yes, for those of you that are listening on KSRN, you are listening to the greatest internet radio station on the web, the Casual Sports Radio Network. I am Michael Caracino at Diablo00 on X, ours formerly known as the Twitter, as you know. See the show live there every day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. Also see Pitchfork Punch on my IG at michael.caracino.5, the YouTube channel, which is at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Champ 005 at MVC005 on YouTube. And subscribe, watch live, but subscribe, because you have missed a ton of good stuff. And again, if you're watching this on the subscription, cool, you're going to see what you've missed. So those of you watching live, you're going to be like, man, I'm glad I didn't miss out on this. But yes, let's just get right to it. So we're going to hear from Coach Powers. Obviously, the split with Michigan, they dropped in the pairwise a little bit. They still control their own they still control their destiny, but yes, I mean, and regulation win and an overtime loss, and the Devils are now 16. I mean, Penn State, again, they've come on, but they're 17-11-4. The Devils are 18-12-2. You talk about success of, conference at a play, and but Denver's getting credit. Western Michigan, gets credit at ASU. And yeah, there's some games, but like one game in a very solid season, but yeah, they still control their destiny. I mean, Omaha is 28 in the pairwise right now. So, I mean, you have a chance to win. They have a very good goalie. Coach talks about it. But anyway, just letting you know, annoyed about that. But let's get to Coach Powers. Let's hear from him instead of me homering it and saying that pairwise, again, you're making no sense. But Coach touches on that. So he'll explain it more eloquently than I. But yes, here is Sun Devil Hockey head coach Greg Powers.
Really impressive. And they've always been good at home. We've played them a lot over the course of our history, so we're looking forward to a great series. It was a great series here last time. Their goalie's arguably the best goalie in the league, so you got to be able to solve him if you're going to have success, and the best way to solve a great goalie is just get in his eyes and throw everything on him and really test him.
Dylan Jackson back on the ice today. How's he been progressing?
Good. I mean, he's I think gone from week to week to day. There's a really good chance he'll be in. Then he'll be a huge plus because he's a big game player. He's got a knack for scoring big goals in big games. He always has, and his times here is winding down, right? So we're hoping to get him in, and then we have 2 weeks to kind of rest up before playoffs, and not quite 2 weeks, but close, and we're hoping he goes.
Omaha's power play has scored goals in 5 of the last 6 games. I think the total number of power play goals is 9. What have you noticed about what their power play does so well?
I mean, they've always had a good power play. They're just really well structured, and they get pucks to the net. It's not rocket science. They're pretty simplistic with how they and deliberate about how they go about their business, and it works well for them. It always has. They've always ran a really good power play.
I know that you were hoping for more margin for error with the NCHC, and it hasn't really worked out that way this year. Is that primarily a function of non-conference results? Or?
Yeah, it's honestly it's our non-conference wasn't bad, but the league was, and so unfortunately, it's just one of those things. I mean, any other year in the history of this league, right now we're probably a lock for at worst a 3 seed, right? But it's where we are, and I think that the message yesterday was while it's unfortunate, we still control everything. Everything's in front of us, and even though a lot of people saw and talked about it was overall a good weekend for us last weekend. You beat the number 3 team in the country in regulation, and then you go into overtime, which you get pairwise points for. You take 4 or 6 points over the weekend, and then you see yourselves move down. But what was explained to the players, because they don't really understand how pairwise works either, not a lot of people do, is the margin between 11 and 16 from an RPI standpoint. Last weekend went like this, right? So we wanted to put ourselves in a position to go to Omaha, have success, and then make that dent, make that climb, and that's exactly where we are. If we go there and take care of business, we will climb. Pretty much in every scenario with where the teams are around us. And the other thing that happened last weekend, and huge credit to them, was Penn State's come out of nowhere. They go into Michigan State and they take 5 to 6 points. So they leaped us, and it's the margin between 16 and 11 right now is crazy. But we get to go on the road. You get more pairwise points for winning on the road, and we still control our destiny. And you go there and have success. We host a home playoff series, and then you continue to have success in the playoffs. If we can go and take care of business this weekend, and then come here and advance to the Frozen Face-Off, I think that by then we'll be in really good shape.
Do you think that the pairwise should be tweaked in any ways?
Yeah, I do. I think that the 3-on-3 is just, I loved it when it was 5-on-5, I'm a big advocate of having a similar rule book to the NHL, because we're a development path for the NHL, but we have such a limited amount of games. Back when it was 5-on-5, I just thought that it was more applicable to how a 34 game schedule plays out. And you go into 3-on-3 and you battle so hard for 60 minutes, and it just doesn't make too much of a difference, right? So I just think you battle for 60 minutes, you play 5-on-5 for 5, you go to a shootout and league play for the extra point. That's what I would like to see it go back to, but it probably won't. And the good thing about the 3-on-3 is it's really good for the fans, because it's exciting to watch. So the people love it. And and some years you're gonna love it. This year we don't. We've lost 6 games in 3-on-3. Where last year we incredible in 3-on-3. But every game we've lost in 3-on-3, we've had our grade A's and haven't finished, and other teams have. That's what it comes down to.
So how do you correlate? I know you're focused on your schedule, but how do you correlate like what you've seen from the Hockey East or the Big Ten versus the NCHC this season?
Yeah, I mean, you look at, I don't understand, and Hockey East is a great league, but I don't understand how a team with one win in the league and is 4 spots below us in the pairwise. It makes no sense. So it is what it is. They had a great non-conference schedule. We're accountable. We played Providence on the road, didn't get a win, so that hurt our league. Colorado College played them on the road, didn't get a win, but Denver swept Northeastern at home. They went to Maine, they split. Omaha beat UMass early in the year, so there's some success against that league head to head, but the computer really likes it this year, and it's the first year the computer didn't like the NCHC, and unfortunately it's just our first year.
More excitement this time of year or stress with control?
Way more excitement. Like it feels, this is fun, and I mean, for us, with everything we've gone through as a program to build to, be where we are with Mullet, with a great fan base, with the league, playing meaningful hockey at the end of February is what we've always strived to do, and so that's what we're doing. Last year at this time, we're sitting on 23, 22 wins with a great season and no chance to advance. Nothing really to play for other than just pride for the jersey. And that's while that's important, it's still hard to get kids to do. When there's no light at the end of the tunnel. With these guys, everything's in front of us. We get to go on the road, and I think 3 points clinches home ice. 2 wins this weekend very closely clinches second place, which is a hell of a first season in this league. And then we get a nice bye week, which is huge. It sets up really well for us to rest and recover, get some injuries and some bruises healed up before playoffs, and take care of business on home ice. And I think if we do those 2 things, I think we're going to go to Minneapolis locked for the NCAA tournament. That's the way I see it projected out.
Your team's grown all year, Coach, but last week, obviously after last week when you went back and look, how do you feel just like with last week and the team has grown?
I mean, I think we've grown every weekend knowing that no matter who we play, we can win because we've beaten everybody we played. So that's the biggest step I think our program has taken this year. But the challenge that I gave the guys yesterday was we still have to be better at finishing games. Even Saturday, you have the lead twice in the third period, and you can't hang on to it, whether it's a mistake coming out of our zone or whatever the case is. Starting the third period 4-on-4, which we didn't want to do due to a little bit of a scrum after the whistle in the second. You have the lead. You want to start 5-on-5. You don't want to open up the ice and give them, more ice to be dangerous with. So, we have to apply everything we've been through this season, which we've been through a lot of ups, a lot of downs, but more ups than downs, and way more to be proud of than anything. But we've got to finish games. We're going to be we're going to be in a position again this weekend to finish games, and the guys have to do it. They got to learn from our past, and whether it's a big save in the big moment or managing pucks the right way, living to fight another day, and knowing when to make a play and when not to make a play. Those are the messages that our guys have to really let resonate if we're going to continue to push and extend this season.
And then leading the conference, in blocks. I know Javi talked about it after Friday's game, but just obviously it's a sense of pride, really sacrifice. Yeah. But when other teams are seeing how much you're doing that and getting blocked, how frustrated do you feel their team's getting on the ice?
It's not an option here. Like if you're not willing to put yourself on the line, you're not going to play. And that applies to everybody. And it's nice to have a senior captain that, in Ty Murchison, that is incredibly selfless in that regard, and puts his body on the line every night. And it just helps the goaltending out. It makes it really frustrating to play against. What it really does in this game is it gives your bench tons of energy. When there's nothing that gives the guys on the bench more energy and more juice than seeing a guy put his body on the line for his team. And that's what these guys are all about, and it's been really nice to see.
Kyle Smolin, one player of the week. What did you see from him over the weekend?
He just gets better every weekend. He's a great leader. He's going to be a captain here for sure next year. And he came in as a good blue collar guy. Waited his time to come in. Probably could have come in a year before he did, but knew that we needed to create some room for Master Simone at the time, and he volunteered basically to go back and play junior and continue to develop. He just wants what's best for a program first and foremost. He's more concerned about the guys next to him than himself, and he plays that selfless brand of hockey that we want all of our guys to play. And he's been rewarded for it. He does everything in his life the right way, most importantly away from the rink. And we just have a genuine belief that if you operate the right way away from the rink, and you treat people the right way away from the rink, when you're here, it's going to take care of itself. This is the easy part if you're operating the right way. He's literally the epitome of that in every way.
Coach, it's been up and down year for Cruz with injuries and coming back in the second half. What have you seen from him here in the second half?
Up and down, right? I thought his first game back was probably his best game, and he was out there kind of playing free and not thinking and not overthinking. And I thought he did some really good things last weekend. He had a really good practice today. It's all just him trusting his legs, and when you miss 6 months and you don't skate for 6 months, it's hard to get back into it. He came in mid-season, midstream, with a ton on the line and intense hockey where everybody's playing their best, tightest checking hockey of the season in a really good league. And what does he have? 7 points in 15 games. It's pretty good. And his best hockey is in front of him. I think he's going to have a really good weekend this weekend.
It's cool and all, but we got more important things ahead of us. It's a great accomplishment. Teammates are great, congratulating me, but at the end of the day, it's individual success comes from team success. So as long as we keep having that, we can expect more of that from everyone. So
have you guys both seen the league play get tighter and tighter as the year has gone along? How one-goal games are consistently played by you guys against whoever?
Yeah, I think details matter, especially towards the end of the regular season and going into playoffs. I think pretty much every game is going to be a 1 or 2 goal game. So just kind of bringing that into our everyday approach and letting that translate onto the ice.
With the whole control your own destiny thing at this point, is there excitement, more stress? Kind of how would you describe the emotions of what could be the next couple weeks here?
I would say excitement for sure. I think for me, at least previously, in previous years, we've never had conference playoffs. So usually at this time, we've kind of been on the outside looking in. So it's kind of hard to keep guys motivated and hungry. But it's the first year we've had it, and I think everyone's pretty excited.
Especially as like a competitive athlete at this point, like you're just always hungry to just always have more and have a chance to keep going. So just having it in front of us is always a good thing. Even when we didn't have it, it was definitely tough, but now that we do, we just got to take it. We have to just perform at this point.
Kyle, you've been on the line with Ty Jackson and Lucas Sillinger for a couple of series now. What do you think works so well with those two guys in you?
They're just two really old, really smart guys. That's what it comes down to. They've been around the block for a long time. Young guy like me being able to play with two guys like that are responsible, smart, and just know the game and have been around, it's just easy, really. As long as I give my best effort and my best foot forward, nothing can really go wrong. So,
Ty, have you seen the younger defensemen, the 400 classmen, especially the 3 freshmen, kind of grow up as the season has gone along?
Yeah, I think we've been saying it all year. They want to learn. They're hungry. They're great kids. Everyone in the locker room has fit in so nicely this year. And they're mature, they're 04s, so they had a couple years of juniors. They were leaders on their teams there. So, these guys, they're still on the ice working on their game. So, they're hungry to get better and they want to win.
And going off that, Ty, what are the conversations like that you're having with those younger guys throughout the season?
Yeah, just playing with Schellberg, we talk a lot. We've grown pretty close over the year. I think over this last couple of months, our chemistry has really started to gel. But, most of these guys are only a year younger than me, so I'm not trying to be too hard on them or too much with them. Just being a good guy to them, being good friends with them. They've adjusted really well.
Ty, you're one of the last guys left on the roster. you guys are now in a position to potentially make the tournament in one of the best conferences in the country. What does that mean to you, and what does this program mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. You know, it's what we dreamed of back when I committed here in the first place, was being in a conference and being in a hunt, being at the top. And, you know, to finally have that chance, you know, we've been talking about it, but, you know, it was enough talk. It was ready to get to it. So, yeah, I mean, I can't thank the coaches enough, the city of Tempe, the school. It's been amazing, and, you know, everything I dreamt of.
Kyle, when we talked to Powers just now, he mentioned that he sees you as a captain next year moving forward. What does that mean to you, hearing that from your head coach?
I mean, it's the highest honor. You know, that's the guy that you look to for advice, and that's the guy you look to for leadership. For him to think of me as a person that could be a leader of this team, I mean, it's the highest honor, and it'd be a great privilege. I mean, I see it as this: if I could just be the best version of myself every day, I think that's the most appreciative aspect of me, is just being true to myself. So if I could show up to the rink every day and just be myself on the ice and off the ice, everything else would take care of itself.
Been a lot of opportunities this year for you guys to close out games with 1-goal leads late. What are you guys working on in that aspect, and what do you need to get better?
I think just, you know, we talked about it as a team, and I think we've come to the conclusion that we just kind of have to be killers at this point. We kind of got to take the game and then just end it. Really, we got to smell the blood in the water. We just got to really take it. Honestly, it's just the only way to put it. You can't keep letting teams crawl back, especially this late in the year. Because when it comes down to it, if you give a team just a little bit of life, they're going to take a whole mile. So I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, I think the message that Powers has been conveying is that we got to play to win and not play to not lose. So just, you know, not sitting back on our heels if we have a 1-goal lead, and kind of hoping to just keep it out of our net. You know, we got to take it in our own hands and end the game.
To piggyback off that a little bit for you guys, what do you take from this past weekend? I mean, obviously with Western Michigan, but I mean, throwing first punches, they're throwing back, and I mean, kind of like a boxing match, just staying in the middle of the ring. What do you guys take from that?
Yeah, I mean, it was an exciting weekend. They're a hell of a team. You know, to get 4 out of 6 points was huge. But to be honest, I still don't think we played anywhere close to our best hockey. So, you know, I think we're getting there, and it's the right time to be building towards playing our best hockey. But yeah, I mean, it was a good step, but we're hungry for more.
What do you think is that next step for you guys to take?
Yeah, I mean, I think every game we kind of excel at different things. We just have struggled a little bit to put it all together fully, a full 60 minutes. But obviously you can see we can score, we can come back. So just putting that all together for the playoffs in these last couple of games will be huge.
You guys saw Omaha in November. What did you notice about what they do structurally that makes them difficult to play against?
Yeah, I think just with our structure, how fast we are. You know, Powers was saying it in practice today. I think our game fits well into how they play. So, yeah, I know we haven't got too much into film on them again. I know they've gotten some guys back and changed some things, so we'll look into that this week, but should be a good weekend.
And like, on top of that, you know, last time we saw them, I don't think they saw nearly our best. We weren't healthy. We kind of were really struggling to score. So not only do they have some things changed, I mean, we have a lot too that we have gained from it too. So it's gonna be an exciting series. So
Kyle, can you take us through that Friday night face-off, up 1, and is just trying to clear the puck down? You got a little lucky, or what was the mindset there?
Yeah, I mean, their structure, their face-off structure, they don't have a defenseman in the middle of the ice, and in that situation, we're trying to find ways to take advantage of it. And I heard Hicksy was, I guess, yelling from the bench just to shoot it, and I lost the first one. They got a shot off. I was getting frustrated, and I was like, you know what, I just gotta change it up. And I saw he was a lefty on the dot, so I had a chance to fire it down, and I let it fly, and then the green was breaking to the right, so it just kind of rolled in. So that was nice. So.
Anything else?
So there you go. Heard from Coach Powers about the pairwise, first of all, guys. And yes, believe me, like he said, I mean, the Big Ten. And look, I'm not saying there's not other good hockey teams. And yes, the NCHC this year, okay, it might be a teeny bit down. We gather that. But I'm not saying down. I just, again, Denver, the Devils took, what's that, 3 out of 4 from Denver? They swept them up in Denver. We know that. Yeah. Won 3-2, 5-2 in Denver, and that was November 23rd. And then, they lost 5-4 in overtime, and then they won 6-5 in overtime at home. But still, they took 3 out of 4 in Denver. And, 2 overtime games in Denver, again, hell of a team. I'm not taking anything away from them. But, and yes, you need to build more than that. But the Devils, did win, 7 straight, 10 straight, I think. But, the U.S. National team development games, again, don't count for their record. They were exhibitions. But still, come on. And you're taking care of, again, I haven't dove through every single team schedule, as you guys know. But nonetheless, yeah, like Kyle Smolin, they're talking about how his empty netter on Fridays, coach's assistant from the bench. And so, he goes, yeah, whapped it out of the air. And he goes, yeah, the green broke just right. And, hockey players love their golf. So, but yeah, he did get player of the week, which is absolutely awesome. Forks up to the Devils. Again, hell of a weekend. Forks up to Kyle Smolin for that. Coach Powers for explaining that. But let's get to Coach Bloomquist real quick. We got a few minutes. So we will get to Coach Bloomquist after taking a series from Oral Roberts.
Pitching staff, none from the bullpen. Pretty good all-around day. How did you feel about the Sunday performance?
Good. I think the way the game started off there with bases loaded, nobody out, I thought we were, that game could have gone a lot differently. I think tip of the hat to Jaden Alba for, kind of buckling down right there and getting the soft line out and then punching the next couple guys out to get out of that. And that kind of really started kind of the momentum, I guess, on our side after it could have really gone south. And then, obviously, New coming up in first pitch, putting us on the board, and that was big. But all in all, yeah, the bullpen did an outstanding job. That was good to see. I was happy for that performance. And then offensively, we stuck with our plan for the most part of the day, and were able to put up some good runs. So good all-around effort.
Second start for Alba on Sundays. There were a lot of guys that still could start on Sundays for you. You go with him. How happy have you been with that decision to go with him last Sunday and this Sunday to start the season?
He's been great. He hasn't been as sharp as he wants to be, but ball's coming out pretty hot today. His first inning, he was mid-90s, 94, 96, and I don't know if he was a little bit amped up, but that's the arm strength that the kid has. But now it's just a matter of fine-tuning, and if he does that, he's a pretty good Sunday guy.
Coach, you guys drew 10 walks. What can you say about just the overall plate discipline and that possibly leading to throwing errors from Oral Roberts and just the base running in general?
That was part of the offensive approach is making sure we get pitches that we can do damage with. And Brandon Compton, I don't think saw a pitch all day until the 9th inning or 8th inning there, where he finally got one pitch to hit and hit a double. So staying disciplined to what they're trying to do. And Matt King didn't have any hits, but he worked some good solid at bats there. He and Kyle Walker down at the bottom of the lineup were, finding ways to get on base, and those are big because that rolls over to the top, and we're able to continue to put base runners on the bases and make things happen there. So all in all, they stuck pretty well to their plate discipline, which was good to see.
You talked on Friday that the offense kind of rolled a little bit in the middle and back half of the ball game. How do you feel that this group responded in the last 2 nights?
Great. We scored in every inning except one today, so that's finding it in different ways too. Some by the long ball, some by base running. Those type of things to staying aggressive are going to be important as we continue to move on. That we're not one-dimensional.
Speaking to that 6th inning, couple of quick outs, and then you go and talk to Kean, slow things down a little bit. Was that the same type of feel there? Not allow things to lull, and then Kean hits that home run?
You want me to shoot you straight, or you want me to take credit for something that I don't deserve credit for? Because I could easily say I told Kean to hit a homer to left center. Matter of fact, if I'm being truthful, Kean said, I asked him what his approach is, and he said, I'm gonna hit a homer to left center. And I said, okay. But the whole reason I was out there was to stall time to get Cardinal ready. So I had zero to do with that, but kind of ironic that Keegan told me that's what he was going to do, and he did it. So yeah, I can sit here and take all the credit in the world and say I told him, but no, that was all on him, and it was all to just buy a little time for Carlone to get ready.
Looking at Carlone, 28 pitches, 21 of those strikes. Is he a guy available to be maybe a starter or back in bullpen guy on Tuesday and Wednesday?
He is capable of doing a lot of different things, and when he throws the ball that way, it gives me a lot of different options with him. So it could change from any one weekend to the next. I think these guys, for the most part, aren't worried about their ego and if they're starting or back end. They're just ready to get outs when we need them. But that's a nice luxury to have in the back half of the bullpen with him throwing that way.
All right, for those listening on KSRN, man, time has flown. It is time to get out of here. Those watching, we're going to finish up with Willie Bloomquist, but don't worry, those listening on KSRN, you'll be able to hear the rest of it. But yes, have a most phenomenal rest of your Taco Tuesday. A little spice out there for the listeners on the Casual Sports Radio Network. I will see you tomorrow. Same bad time, same bad channel. And yes, as always, you guys know it. Forks up. All right, so for those of you that are here, I'm not Willie Bloomquist, but let's get back to Coach Bloomquist.
Pretty impressive.
I asked the guys about how much fun they're having running the bases and the free bases that were given this weekend. How intimidating do you think that made? Because they were saying that it really makes the pitcher stop thinking about throwing a pitch and more about checking over to first. How intimidating does that make you guys as a team when you always have to be wary whenever there's a runner on base?
I think it's twofold, right? One, we get ourselves in scoring position, but two, if the pitcher's thinking about the base runners, then advantage us when we're hitting. So that's kind of hopefully the way the lineup is constructed, is that we have speed at the top and the bottom, and if we get speed on and they're thinking about those guys, maybe they leave a breaking ball up and we deposit it in the seats. So base running can do that to guys and get you thinking about them and taking your focus away from executing pitches, and that's it's a multi-layered offense. That's what we aspire to be.
Building off what you said about Kean calling his shot on that home run, how much confidence does it fill you with as a coach when you have 4 different batters hit a home run in 4 straight innings and they all can bring that energy and build off of each other?
I mean, I think it becomes kind of a frenzy with those guys when they start going. They're 1 through 9, they're capable of hitting the ball in the seats, which is great. But when they start, I've said it, when this offense starts getting going, it's going to be a really, really fun offense to push buttons for, because they can go deep, they can play the small ball game, they can run, they can hit and run, they can do a lot of different things. So when you have guys that are able to go yard, you're never out of a game, and B, you can put up some big numbers and stretch leads, which I challenged them to do today, and they responded very well.
Speaking of confidence, just 6 pitchers used between Saturday and Sunday, a couple midweeks, against UCLA this week. How much does that build your confidence in the rest of your staff to have loads of options with 5 games in 6 days?
We're going to need it. We're going to need options and guys to step up and eat up innings for us and just keep us in games and give our offense a chance to get going. But we do have a lot of guys that are capable of throwing and throwing well, and a bunch of guys that didn't get into the game this weekend, but they'll be hot for the midweek games against UCLA. Again, that's the challenge, is trying to keep all these guys sharp and in there, but at the same time winning games. So trying to put them in the right situations.
What's the approach to coaching when your offense is homering as much as they are and your defense is playing well? What do you say to the guys when they're playing as well as they are?
Just stay locked in. It's not going to get any easier. Things are going to get tougher. The competition that we played already, these teams are going to go win a lot of games in their conferences, I believe. So they've been a good challenge for us, but we can't get complacent on that. We have areas that we can improve and keep getting better, and continue to create our identity on who we are and what we want to be. So I don't think there's anybody in there that's getting complacent. So I think we know we got to get better, and we'll keep pushing to get better.
Do you have a starter in mind for Tuesday yet, or is it still up in the air?
Yeah, Easton Barrett is going to start on Tuesday. That was the guy I was trying to get into the game this weekend. Just didn't work out from a lineup standpoint there. Oral Roberts is very right-handed heavy. Want to try to get him in there with some success. UCLA's got a lot of left-handed hitters, so I think he'll match up hopefully well against those guys. And yeah, he's stretched out well enough. Hopefully we can get him through some innings there at the beginning of the game.
Last year, UCLA was kind of the defining road series for you guys. A couple of really big wins out there. What do you feel that this 2-game stretch defines for these guys this early in the season out in LA?
Well, I think it'll be good for us to get away from home and play on the road, experience that a little bit. And UCLA has been playing well. So they're a year older and a year better. I'm sure they haven't forgotten last year. I'm sure they'll be reminded of that when we play them. But they'll be a extremely tough test for us. So we'll have to come with it and play our best baseball that we played so far this year to come away with any wins there. So.
I know you had mentioned it last year, but as a Pac-12 guy, having grown up in Washington, played here, you've known Pac-12 your entire life. What does it mean to keep these series on the books? USC is going to come in here, and you're going to UCLA, as in Stanford probably in the future. What does it mean to you to continue to play these series?
I think it's important. We've had such good rivalries over the years with a lot of these schools in our conference that to let those just die kind of be a shame, I think. So, but on the other hand, we got to throw some schedule in there that we can't make it so difficult that it's impossible either. We have to try to schedule some wins in there, and there's no easy wins in the Pac-12. Those are the former Pac-12. All those teams are, top to bottom are doing well. And they're going to be tough. So, but yeah, I think it's important to continue scheduling UCLA, USC, and as California schools, we recruit heavily in California, and for us to continue to go see our guys there, and for them to see us play, and continue to put our stamp in California area. It's big for us, but more just the fun rivalry that we've built over the years. We got to keep those going.
And Coach, you said it and Jacob's probably said it too. I see Brandon Compton getting those walks, not seeing pitches on a day like this though when homers are falling out. Does he say anything? Do you have to say anything to him to not obviously get too over aggressive and maybe not swinging at pitches that aren't there?
No, he's maturing as a hitter every day, and I think this is just a sign of it. He didn't chase out of the zone, and was very patient with the pitches that he can do damage with, and he just continues to get better and better and mature every day that he's out there.
Was there Eli's decision to put Alba back out there for the 5th, and was there any thought of getting him out for the 6th as well?
No, I didn't realize his pitch count had gotten that high, and I run him back out there for the 5th, and he got the first out. I can't remember, strike the first guy out, I think. And Jeremy said, "You want to go get him?" And I'm like, "Why? Why are we going to get him?" And he's like, he's starting to get up there pitch count wise, which I, wasn't. Usually I'm right on that with the number of pitches that he's thrown, but he was creeping up there, so I had zero intention. As a matter of fact, that was his last guy that he got out would have been his last hitter, regardless if he got him out or not. So I was really excited that he was able to get through 5 and get the W, I guess, from a selfish standpoint, get him the win. He deserved it and gutted it out. So that was neat for him, and the other guys came in and did their job.
Sundays were not necessarily the finest days, especially at the beginning of the year last year for you guys, but you did finish 3-1 at the end of last year, and now you've won both Sundays to start this year. What have you seen with this team as far as turning it around and making sure that you close out a series strong? And this was obviously, especially pitching wise, a lot different than you're used to seeing in a Sunday ball game.
Yeah, it was we were trying to scratch across runs, but I think at the end of the day, that was, hockey said it today, first time in 3 years we lost a Friday game and were able to still come away with the series win. So I challenged our guys with that today a little bit and said, okay, here's the deal. We know they're going to come out swinging, and it's going to be a dogfight today. So button the chin strap and let's get after it and try to just get this. This is an important win, early on. It's an important one. So didn't want to obviously drop the one on Friday, but we did, and now it's how you're going to bounce back. And the way they responded was great. Couldn't ask for anything more. They were resilient and continued to play with intensity and energy throughout the Saturday and Sunday games. So for me, it's a good start.
How confident are you in the Sunday spot going forward, whether it be Alba or someone else, after being a question mark for a little while?
As long as Alba keeps throwing the way that he was, keep staying out there. It's good. We have a lot of options, and again, trying to keep some of these length guys, lengthen out, even though they didn't pitch this weekend. That's a challenge that we have. Using the days during the midweek that we don't play. This week's going to be different because we play on Tuesday, Wednesday, but using those days is trying to get extra at bats against people to keep not only the hitters sharp but also the pitching sharp. So that's just something we have to manage and keep those guys ready for when we do have double midweek games. And later on in the year, we're going to need more than 3 or 4 starters. We're going to need guys to be able to lengthen out.
Obviously, a 7-run margin of victory at the end of it. How valuable is it to be able to run up the total at the end of the game to give young pitchers like Eli Buxton a chance to develop?
I wouldn't say running it up, but I would think just continuing to keep the gas on, foot on the gas and not giving at bats away. And yes, trying to expand the lead a little bit, because it is important to get those guys in the game. And you'd like to give them some soft landings early on to get their confidence going and have a little bit of wiggle room in case they, get a little bit tight and, walk a guy or something here and there. You don't want it to be a 1-run game or 2-run game. So the more we can keep putting those add-on runs late and expand leads, that's huge. But not only for that sake, but just for my blood pressure's sake, it's nice.
Coach, how nice is it having 1 through 4 hitters all returning in this era of college sports where it's not really normal, producing the way they have this early in the season? 3 of them having bombs, nobody throwing to Compton.
I think it's 1 through 6 really are returning. So we have Crom returning, Zay, Toby, 1 through 6 is all returners. So they know the expectations, they know what we're trying to do and what type of offense that we are, and just having that luxury of those guys back that know what our approach is and know what we expect of them has been big. I think they're, like I said, I don't want to sound cliche, but they're just, we're not hitting on all cylinders yet. There's more in there. These guys will, when they start clicking, it'll be, like I said, I think a really fun offense to start rolling with.
Eli pitched in the 9th, set the tone immediately with a strikeout on 3 pitches. What do you think it makes, or how do you think it becomes so difficult for hitters to pick up on his arm angle, because it's unique and it could be difficult for hitters to pick up on his breaking ball?
Yeah, that's he has a unique release point. Comes from the 8th floor. It comes from way up high and has good downhill angle, and hitters don't see the breaking stuff off of it, and his fastball's got enough life to blow by him. So it's just a unique angle, and it's when we have enough arms that have good velo and ride, it's nice to throw a different wrinkle at them. I think that's, Josh Butler had a lot of success yesterday because it's a different angle, a different look. After we've been throwing everything that kind of rises at him for the last 13, 14 innings, and then bringing that guy in with sink and then kind of mixing it up today, with those different angles and different looks is big. So, these hitters are good, man. I don't care who they were playing for or what teams they are. They come in, if you start showing them velo every day that has the same arm slot, they're going to catch up to it. And, I never felt overly comfortable this weekend. Those guys can swing it a little bit, and they put good at bats together. So we had to keep throwing different wrinkles at them and keep them off balance.
Talk about soft landings for these younger guys, putting in Landon Harrison there later in the game. Was that kind of another example of that on the hitter side?
No, Landon pinch hit Friday night in a very crucial situation. So that was his soft landing. And some guys you just don't have the luxury to do that with. But I've said it before, that kick and flat out hit, and then we got to keep him mixed in there. And I've touched on this several times, but we have a lot of guys that are capable of starting and getting a lot of at bats, but I can only we write 9 guys in there at a time, and so for me to kind of juggle certain guys to keep them sharp, try to get their ABs in there to keep their timing, there's opportunities to do that. I got to try to do it as best I can.
Coach, you're 6-1 at home, a 9th inning away from 7-0 at home. Are you happy with the outcome of these first 7 games before you hit the
Happy, not satisfied. You know, I think it's great to get wins, but we have room to improve. There's areas we got to get better, and like I said, it doesn't get any easier as we move forward. The schedule only gets tougher. So, you know, it's good to be where we're at, but we, you know, that one stung a little bit on Friday. I think we all are still a little bit, I don't want to say disappointed, but we bounced back from that. It's in the rear view, but that one stung a little bit. We knew we were capable of coming away with that one, but I think it's a tribute to where we're at, and I think where we can go confidence-wise. If you look at, I know Ohio State lost a couple of games today and yesterday that they were way ahead of really good teams. They beat NC State earlier in the week, so when you start looking like, man, those games were a dogfight with Ohio State, and now they're going out and beating ranked teams, and you know, giving those guys fits too. It's like, well, maybe, you know, those were good tests for us, and our guys are, you know, we're getting battle tested. You know, these guys, I guarantee these guys are going to go win a whole slew of games this year, which is going to be good for us. That they're very well coached, and they're going to continue to get better. They're a little bit inexperienced, but they got some kids over there that can flat out play, and some nice arms in the bullpen. So that was a good challenge for us. And Austin Peay is going to go win a boatload of games too. So I think we were challenged early on, and to come away with 6 wins is good. You know, but we know as a team we got to get better. So.
And there you go. I wanted to get that in before they play UCLA today. Give me their starter, but yeah, I mean, just again, Oral Roberts, like I said, has postseason experience. And that'll help. Obviously, Ohio State. You know, see what they can do, and then also. I mean, then one game against Austin Peay, but now you're taking on UCLA, who's looking to have a huge year. And again, but yeah, what he said about, I mean, the pitching there, and obviously Brandon Compton, again, not seeing pitches has got to be completely frustrating for him. And I asked that because, again, not that he was an undisciplined player, but, you know, it's, you know, the adrenaline's going. Guys are making good contact, and yeah, they're getting, you know, maybe getting pitches that they were expecting, and Kian Vu calling his own shot. Got all that. By the way, Kian Vu leading the Big 12. It is early on with stolen bases. He has 8 stolen bases to lead the Big 12. So forks up to Mr. Kian Vu. But yeah, so we'll see what they do again. 6 p.m. tonight against the Bruins in LA. Again, it's on Big 10 Plus, but you can also listen to it on 1060 AM radio wise. So again, you will have many options to do that. But nonetheless, we have that's what we have going on. But again, men's hoops tomorrow night, and then this weekend we heard again from Coach Powers and Ty Murchison and Kyle Smolin, but they are at Omaha to close out the regular season. Again, a chance to get 2 wins and postseason, and very solid chance hosting a game at Mullet Arena. Phenomenal. Just think back, like I said Friday too. Think back to Oceanside, and now you're hosting a game here at Mullet Arena, which is again phenomenal. So anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Enjoy the rest of your Taco Tuesday, my peeps. As again, hopefully, you know, a little bit of spice to them, a little bit of flavor, a little bit of flavor, a little bit of spice. So I definitely enjoy them. But yes, have a phenomenal rest of your Tuesday. I will see you tomorrow. Again, we'll hear from Coach Hurley as the run up to the game tomorrow night against 25th ranked BYU. Again, coming off a gift of a call, and not that they didn't earn the win, but they got a gift of a call late in the game in Tucson too, which is crazy. So again, crazy mixed emotions for me, and I'm sure a lot of Sun Devil fans, but you're like, oh, but not a surprise. So hopefully, let's not repeat that. Let's get out to Desert Financial Arena and get the Devils a little win streak here, man. 2 in a row. But all right, everybody have a phenomenal rest of your Taco Tuesday. I will see you tomorrow. And you guys know it. #OurState. Thanks to reigning Big 12 champs women's volleyball for reminding me of that. And yes, you guys know it. As always, Forks up.
I went to Arizona State. Right. I'm a Sun Devil, man.
The 27-yard line. That's a great call. Blake Baker, Bubba will put it up, throws over the middle. Touchdown. Quick flag.
That's away. Trying to center off with Eckerly, and he just missed the net. O'Reilly with the shot. Far down, he scored.
From behind for a month. Now with the lead, they're getting a little wobbly. Philadelphia, they won't get it. Wow! Edwards pulls up and buries the flag. Shot for goal!